Hello, this is Keith Jordan of the Hudson Valley Guild of Mental Health Professionals. The Guild is a membership organization of about 140 therapists throughout the Hudson Valley, and we get together to support each other in our professional work and also to provide information to um, residents of the Hudson Valley about services that are available to them for mental health. We do have a website, hudsonvalleyguild.com. Today, I am interviewing Jamie Lacy, one of our guild members. How are you, Jamie?
I'm great, Keith. Thanks so much for this opportunity.
Can you tell me about what you do professionally?
I'm a psychotherapist, like as a psychoanalytic psychotherapist, and I have a private practice based up here in Woodstock and still service some of my clients that are back in Brooklyn remotely.
So, can you explain the difference between a psychoanalytic therapist and someone who is not a psychoanalytic therapist?
For me, it's I have that training. And so I've gone through a psychoanalytic training at the Training Institute for Mental Health down in Manhattan. And I guess the way I frame it when I'm doing phone consultations is, for me, I think anything goes, all of it's important. It's okay to talk about the good stuff. It's okay to have small talk. It doesn't just have to be problem focused. Really just interested in getting to connect with and learn more about people's stories and who they are.
So, what got you interested in doing this work?
Years ago, when I finished college, I moved out west, as some of us do, I guess. And I ended up working at a therapeutic boarding school out in Oregon. I was in a meeting once, and I was hearing the therapist there talk about one of our students kind of from a pathological lens and really labeling, and it really didn't sit well in my body. And I've always wanted to be a helper. I used to think I wanted to be a doctor. I just felt like I had a good ability to connect with people and really wanted to offer more a holistic, well-rounded, and curious approach to our work. And so at the time, a partner's mom recommended I go to apply to Smith College School for Social Work, which is where I went.
Tell me about Smith College.
Smith is up in Northampton, Massachusetts. They have a clinical social work program. It's kind of on a irregular schedule in the sense that when I was there, you spend 10 weeks intensive academics in the summertime, and then you'll do an 8-month internship somewhere in the country. Also, I identify as a male. Smith is, historically and still today, undergraduate program is all female, but they do let male applicants in the social work program. And yeah, I did my internships at Shepherd Pratt in Baltimore 1 year, and then another year I was at the College Counseling Center at the University of Virginia. I had a wonderful experience at Smith.
So, how do you get referrals? How do people come to know about you?
On Psychology Today, I think as many of us are, the Hudson Valley Guild's been a really great resource. And I have a website, jamielacypsychotherapy.com. And then I also have a group practice with some other clinicians, which is based out of Brooklyn, and up here it's nycpsychotherapy.org. I feel like what's been really helpful for me in my career is really meeting people. When people ask about how to build a private practice, I say you need to drink a lot of coffee or tea and sitting with people. And so it's not just a name popping up on a listserv. You can really feel someone's presence.
So, how would someone decide that you would be the therapist for them as opposed to someone else?
Everyone that reaches out, I offer a free phone consultation and just really try to hold space for what they're coming in with, thinking about how it sits with me. Try to tell them a little bit about my experience and really encourage them to kind of trust their gut and who they're speaking with and how it feels talking with them. And hopefully, if we are to meet, whether remotely or in person, just how that feels in their body. I really encourage people to trust that.
So, how would you describe how what you do might be different from what someone else would do, or what specialties you might, be most involved with working with?
I don't know about different from someone else. For me, again, like I'm psychoanalytically informed and trained, and so what that for me again, anything goes. I've done some training in EMDR, and while I'm not doing it more traditionally with a light bar or tappers, it's definitely integrated and a part of how I'm conceptualizing and working with someone and my curiosities. Also integrating mindfulness. I think it's really interesting to think about how we know we're feeling a feeling when we're feeling it, sitting with that, and how we work with those body cues and that information. I think another thing that's become more and more of interest to me is the difference in the way in which we approach our physical health and our mental health. And just with our physical health, if you have an upset stomach or you've sprained your ankle, you're gonna nurture yourself back to health, whether that's icing your ankle or doing your literal or metaphorical chicken noodle soup thing to restore your gut. And with our mental health, oftentimes it's like, how do we stop this? And so I think I've really tried to help people slow down, and why sure we want to understand how come we're happy, sad, angry, mad, anxious, etc. Let's also take a moment just to honor the fact that you feel uncomfortable and you feel overwhelmed, and how can we show up for you in this moment? And then we can get to the more curious place. And that's a big part of me too, really trying to hold the space for myself and the client to collaboratively be curious about what's going on and how that's going for them. And if there are changes, how we can very slowly integrate those changes into their life.
So what are your thoughts, or what's your perspective on the effect of someone's past on their present thoughts and behaviors?
I mean, I think that lives in our body. I think the body remembers. As Bessel van der Kolk's title of his book is "The Body Keeps the Score." I mean, I think maybe it's not front and center in the forefront of our mind, but I think past experiences, especially relationally, do have an impact on us today. And it doesn't mean that's the end of the story. But I think as we can develop this curiosity of what might be happening, and I think might is really important too, and that we ever fully factually know, but how that past relationship might be impacting this current one, and how do we kind of update our system and to better showing up in those relationships today as we might hope to.
What would you consider an ideal client for you?
I feel pretty open. I think for me, it's someone that's interested in being open and curious. I think with my caseload today, I work with a lot of depression, anxiety, sit with a lot of men, and giving them permission to feel their feelings, and also, again, helping people recognize that they matter and their experiences matter, and holding space for them. And I do a little bit of couples work as well too, and just kind of helping that communication and honoring both experiences, and that doesn't have to cancel out anyone's experience along the way.
So where are you located, and are you operating from your office or doing teletherapy?
I'm located in Saugerties, and my office is in Woodstock. I use space at the Woodstock Therapy Center right there in town. And I am seeing a few people in person over there. And otherwise, I'm working over Zoom.
So how would someone contact you if they think that you might be able to help them?
Yeah, they're welcome to reach out to me by email, I guess is the best for us to be able to set up that phone consult at Jamie Lacy psychotherapy at gmail.com. I think there's a posting about me on the Woodstock Therapy Center website, my own websites, Jamie Lacy psychotherapy.com and nycpsychotherapy.org, and the Hudson Valley Guild. I'm in that directory as well.
Well, thank you, Jamie, for sharing about your work, and good luck with all you do.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate the time, Heath.